Welcome back to Revelation Time. We have a wonderful discussion. We are broadcasting all the way from Kenya in a very rural place. We are speaking about family, marriage, divorce, tribe, Christian value. And we have also Bishop Doris Hutchins who also joining in the discussion about family. She have been saved for over 40 years and have been married a long time with 5 children. We have Reverend Rapando, we have Pastor Jotam, and we have Pastor Wandera. Amen.
Amen.
And Reverend Rapando wife also is going to be joining with us. So we were speaking about paying dowry in terms of how the family will deal. Can we continue? Yeah, go ahead. We were speaking about the process in terms of the father, the family, would do, before a marriage could take place. We're asking the question about if the father itself decide that this is the person that I want my daughter or son to get married to, but the son or daughter is not in agreement with it, how would you communicate? What would happen?
Well, that that has been happening,
right?
But now, in the days that we are living in now, nowadays, father parents doesn't choose for the son to marry from this kind of a daughter.
Okay.
Though in some other small tribes in the interior, they are still practicing that.
Okay.
Some other tribes, but very few, because some of the boys and some people have gone to school, but a few people in the remote, like the place where we are, maybe a few do practice that. But just in case, as you have asked that question, just in case the father say that I want you to marry from that tribe, and the son says I don't want that woman, it will take a time. They will negotiate. The father will continue negotiating and try to take his time talking to the son, and try to talk also, and the father of the daughter and the mother will also try to talk to themselves. This may take time until they come to the consensus.
Explain to me in terms of I know that within the Western country, sometime when a marriage takes place, the families try to influence the marriage. Although they are married, the Bible says leave and cleave. The father or the mother will try to be in control of the life. Can you explain if there is that, if you have that problem here?
Well, we have that problem.
Yes,
we have it. But when I'm talking of this is a diversity in diversity, because in Christianity we have a few, and out of Christianity we have a few who practice that.
Right.
But in most cases it should not be that the parents should. That's why whenever a dispute arises between the family, we have in the wedding a man called the best man. The best man will come in.
Okay, so tell me the role of the best man. Very interesting.
Yes.
Because within the West, we just consider best man as being a good friend of the groom, and that their only function would be on the day of the wedding. Explain to me in terms of the best man. That's very interesting.
Thank you so much, Bishop and Apostle.
Yes.
The role of a best man is very wide, and it does not end on the wedding day.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
It continues. Whenever dispute rises, it's not supposed that the woman or your wife should go to the parents. Neither should your man go to the parents. The first person, if you cannot solve it by yourself, the first person to consult is the best man. And the best man will come in.
That's quite shocking to us. Continue.
That is in Christianity. For example, like Reverend Rapando.
Right.
Both of them, they are best couples to our bishop.
Right.
And I think in most cases you hear Bishop calling him Papa. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Bishop calling him Papa. Because they still have a responsibility in that marriage.
Okay.
once you are a best couple, once you are a best man, you have a role to play in that family.
To ensure that
That family goes on well. If there is any problem, you need to step in so that you may see it out. You may solve that problem.
And you are regarded with respect.
As a
Yes.
much respect.
When you step in, you are regarded, they'll have to listen to you. You are like a parent, like
You are
like
regarded as a parent. Just as
Really?
yes, as a parent.
So tell me something about, you have the best man and you have the head, what you call it, for the women that normally what
Maid of honor.
You know,
The maid of honor.
To us, what we do is like with them, both of them, William Rapando and Frida.
right?
If you take a best man, we take both of them, a man. and
Okay,
a
the
woman.
man and the woman.
Man and the woman.
Okay, so that we don't do that in the West. They can just use anyone, you know, surprisingly. So once you take a best man, so it's both.
Yeah,
You can't go good.
they
good,
must
yeah.
they must be both of them married. Both of them must be married, and
They
you
must
t-
be married.
Yeah, they must.
They must be married.
Must be
I want you
married.
to say it again. They must be married.
Yes,
They
they
must be
must
married.
be married couple.
And in a Christian way.
To each other.
Yes.
Not to two different people.
No.
Continue very
And-
well.
And you
My
see,
God.
why should they be married? Because there are some secret things your wife or my wife may not disclose it to the man. So he will disclose it to the
lady.
to the lady or to the wife.
Okay.
And the wife will carry on and then talk to the man and sit together and talk about the issue. And then the man will come with a message to the man now and say, your wife has got this complaint over you. Please, can you change? If you please try to do something over it.
Okay.
Yes.
Believe you me, this is surprising to all our internet listeners right now in terms of the role of the best man, and also that they must be married, there must be a family, and that the best man have a responsibility to ensure that when there are crises within the marriage itself, that it will work, and the reverence and honor that is given to the family. So we continue. Tell me now. Tell me something now. What is the role, quickly, this is part of family, because we're dealing not just marriage but family, of godparents. Do you have godparents also for children?
Guardians?
You call it guardian, because this is a problem we have in the West. Do you have guardian? Explain to me how it works. How do you choose one, and what is their role?
To become a guardian parents maybe to me in my marriage. But you
You come up again.
When there's a child, children come. When there's a children come, do you have, like, we call it godparents? When we are christening that child, we would select a godparents, to say, well, listen, I am the parents, but there are the godparents, which you call spiritual parents, to help to grow these children. Do you have the same also?
We don't have that.
No, we don't have.
So when you have your children, you don't have godparents?
No, it's me to take care of my children.
Yeah.
Me and my wife.
So if something happened to the parents, what take place? Who take care of the children?
When something happens to my kids or to me, and I have kids, number one, we have to go to our lineage. I have my brothers, I have my people from our own family.
Yeah.
That's point number one. It must go that way.
Yes.
Or it might go to the side of my wife.
Yeah.
Maybe the uncle, the uncle to my kids will step in and see if they can take the role of bringing up the kids if something happens to me.
Okay,
Also,
Yeah.
it's also enshrined in the Kenyan laws that is the next of kin that will have to take the responsibility of your children in case both of you are dead. Then one of them, the closest one whom the family will choose, will take the responsibility of ensuring that the children are taken good care of.
Okay.
And if he's not willing, then on the man's side, then it's passed on, as the Reverend Wandera said, on the lady's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you select a best man? tell me what criteria would you use, because this is very surprising to us.
Yeah. Maybe let me say in the first place, the way you know, when you are selecting a best man, you know you are looking for a confidant. Is a confidant, a person whom you will have to share your heart out, your secrets out. A person you know that this person can help you, will help. We can counsel you, can direct you, and can also keep your secrets, and can also stand with you when the things are not all that well. It's somebody that you trust, let me say. More or less we can say it's like a trustee to you. Yeah.
Okay. All right, in the West, this is quite interesting. And I want to hear also from Pastor Frida, I mean, for the viewers. It is very easy to divorce someone in the West. A simple thing as somebody don't want to show someone their credit card. You know, they have a credit card, or someone don't put the other name on the account. You know, I have an account, she have an account.
Right.
So one find out you don't cook well, right? Or the parents itself get involved within the marriage itself. So the parents would influence. You know, the wife don't like their husband, mother, and all of these simple little conflict, which affect the church big time. You know, the divorce rate is so high that sometimes we are tired to counsel people. Tell me about how divorce, if divorce is easy within your culture. Tell me about divorce, how easy it is.
You see, it is easy in our culture, especially when men are not taking their responsibilities.
Right.
And one thing I know is the Bible says husband should love the wife,
Right.
and the wife should submit. And most of the time I've sat with women, we have shared with women. There's one thing I've learned about women, that they automatically have a submission spirit. So when a woman is loved, she will automatically submit.
She will submit if she's loved.
Yes, when she's loved, when she's nourished and cherished, she will submit, because every woman believes the husband. Every woman is proud of the husband. But where the problem comes is when the husband is not taking responsibility as a husband, as a father in the house. So it starts bringing conflicts. Always, it causes even women to start complaining and murmuring, and later on you can find it as,
Right.
especially if somebody is not stable in Christianity.
Right. Because
It causes women, most of them, just to get out, and she feels she needs somebody to love her, because a woman is meant to be loved.
okay.
So
If I can add on that, and it's not an automatic. If she's going to divorce,
Right.
it's not like a 24 today, tomorrow it's done. It takes, with our culture, it takes long.
time.
A woman will take a long time complaining. And not a long time of 2 months, it's not a long time of 3 months. It may take even 5 years.
Really?
Yes. And when she decides to leave, it is something that when the elders now will come, because when she goes back to her parents, then the people will come and sit, and she will talk out, because now that one has gone beyond the best man and the people who are around. Now the best man is sure, he knows this has been going on. The best man has done his whatever he
Best,
can.
yeah.
The best, he has done all that he can to bring them together. Now it's gone beyond him. So the woman will have to go. And when the wife goes, the elders will sit, and you will understand yourselves. He will tell you, I did this for this and for many years, and you have never changed. And if the man comes and say, okay, I am sorry for that, he will be given as a fine, a chance, and he will pay the fine.
You pay the fine?
And the wife will still go back.
So who would he pay that fine to?
He paid fine to the parents.
The lady,
Really?
Yes.
he's penalized. Well, what I can also add on is that, well, to us here, I don't think if you can call it a divorce. but I don't see if it's a divorce. It's just like
A suspension.
it's not a suspension. It's just like a lady decides just to go for a rest.
Break.
It just break.
Just moves away.
It moves away to have
Okay.
a moment of peace.
Separate for reconciliation.
Just a moment of peace.
Separate for
But
reconciliation.
you still have to pay a fine.
Yeah, so it's just a disciplinary action.
Really?
A disciplinary action towards the man who misbehaves.
You hear that, Bishop?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, it's just a disciplinary action against the man's misbehaviors. And that is right.
But suppose this woman now is beating the man and giving the man problem. How do you deal with that?
Well, just recently,
It has come out recently, but suppose a woman beats a man, it's to us, to our culture, man, you have to keep quiet. Let not the people in the village know that a man, a woman is beating her. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Yes, don't say anything.
he just persevere.
Yes, it's a reproach
Yes.
to a man to be beaten by a man,
But a woman,
by a woman. So
Okay.
it's a reproach. So you need to keep quiet.
But in the West, if there's a divorce taking place, normally the woman wouldn't go back home to their parents. They would just find somewhere and live until they get married to someone else. But in your culture,
it doesn't happen.
you'd have to go back to the parents.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Not explain that to me.
Why? Because you can, the moment you leave your place or your home and you go somewhere else, nobody knows where you have gone, and anything happens in the process, something wrong happens, or you happen to entangle an accident on the way, who will tell where you are, what happened?
The blame will fall absolutely to the man.
Really?
Number two, you know, when you got married, that was a covenant that was made.
Yeah.
And if it's in a Christian way, you signed a marriage certificate. And this marriage certificate can only be dissolved by courts of law, by the attorney, no other person. Even if the people may, unless you did know, if you have not gotten the marriage certificate, then the elders from the two parties will come and talk, and then whatever they will agree on is what will be there. But if you are married in a Christian way, then it shall be dissolved by the court of law.
And
Another way.
if to add on that, you see, we don't fear the divorce, especially when you made a covenant.
Right.
You are in a covenant.
Yeah.
There is that belief in us that when you break that covenant, you will live in a curse.
Yes.
Oh, you live in a curse?
Yes.
Right.
And we
Okay.
believe it.
Vow.
And we take the covenant strongly, seriously. Seriously. And you break that
We want
covenant,
it.
the curse falls on you. So you have to keep it.
Definitely.
Yes, Bishop.
Bishop.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bishop.
The man or the woman, can they, after all that has happened, are they free to marry again?
If they had separated,
Yes.
no.
They can't.
It's not all that easy.
It's not easy, Bishop.
It's not easy.
You're saying that if there's a divorce taking place,
An official.
An official one.
official divorce,
It's an official one. And
Yeah.
it's not an easy
It's
of
not
2-3 hours or 2 days.
It's not all that easy.
no, you're saying if there's a divorce take place,
Yeah.
they cannot marry to someone else so easy.
It happens sometimes, but
It is very rare.
it happens.
Very
Very
rare.
rare.
Very rare. Why?
Very rare.
It's this way. When you divorce and get married immediately,
Right.
people will regard you as somebody who had some
bills.
sinister. So you wanted to divorce because this person didn't have a problem. So that's why you just wanted to divorce and get married. So you will never have the respect from the community. But when you stay for a long time, people will come to understand surely there was a problem. So when you marry, you get the support of the community.
And that honor will be there.
and the family.
Is there's a money that you normally pay if there's a divorce take place? Is it? Explain that to me.
No, really.
Divorce.
When you are divorcing,
Yes.
no, when you are divorcing, well, what happens is that, but it is not all that easy. But you are the dowry that you paid
Right.
can be returned.
Refunded.
Can
If
be
you
refunded.
didn't have children with the wife.
Yes, if you didn't have
If you
children.
don't have children,
If you
Right.
didn't have, if you have children, No refund.
No refund.
Now
Yeah.
you will go to court. The one woman or a man or a woman will go to court according to the constitution today. Now to declare so that you may what we call get properties, divide the properties. You see, but in Christianity, if you are divorced, you are divorced, and that's all. Nothing you pay, nothing
just forget about
and
it.
forget about it.
Okay, tell me something now, in terms of the church and the culture. What role in terms of the pastors, we call spiritual parents, would play within marital dispute? Would they play a role also? We speak about the best man, and we understand the role of the best man now. Because within the West, the pastors are burdened down, trying sometimes to deal with conflict itself, which end up in divorce. So, what role does the pastor play in dispute or conflict?
Well, in the case where there is such a dispute, the best man will, after trying to reconcile the two parties and has failed, I think they will have to talk to their pastor about that conflict, and the pastor will try the best he can to see if he can, in his capacity as the pastor of the two parties, try to reconcile them.
Okay.
Right.
One of the problems we have also in the West, and I wanted to explain to us to have a better understanding. One of the problems the pastors have is that we believe that Christian, we don't believe in saved and unsaved person getting married. That two of them must be Christian, servant of Jesus Christ. Now, the problem we have is that when some two persons come together as Christian and when they get married, we realize sometimes most likely the man become very weak and backslide. Backslide means they stop coming to church. Which when they stop coming to church, it start to affect the marriage itself, because they want to pull away the wife away from the church, to backslide with them also. Explain to me if you have that problem here. They will tell the wife, do not go to church. Yes.
You have some?
No.
Okay.
Okay. The way I'll try to answer this is that now, in a case where you see a couple has been coming to church,
Right.
then one starts becoming weaker and weaker, starts not appearing in church.
Right.
In the first place, you consider there is either a problem, a personal problem, that this person is hiding away from the pastor or from the best man, and they don't want to expose themselves out. Or in other words, there is something, maybe he has been stumbled along the line, but he does not want to speak his heart or her heart out. So you see this person not appearing in church. Now you see he starts failing. Now you see, now it seems now the weight is now being piled onto the other couple that is still strong. Now you see, to discourage this one, the other couple from now coming, you see this one, they will have to, maybe another one will try to rebuke the other or to talk to another, and there will be now something like a conflict there or a quarrel. Then you will feel somebody that now the other one will say, I'm stumbled, I will not go to church with a heavy heart. And you see they start keeping off from the church. They don't appear. If you ask them, say, just felt like that, just staying at home, you are weak. So
Now the role of like I can say a few said about it, if I can add on, and then I'll let Reverend Macho add on that. The role of a pastor, if there is a kind of a dispute, is that he will step in and bring some counsel and prayers, and he will be regarded as someone who will able to keep the secret of each other, because when the wife comes to the pastor, he will reveal whatever the pain that she has,
Right.
and you have to be faithful to keep this secret. The man too will come talk to your pastor, and now yours is, if you cancel them and it doesn't work, you have to keep on imparting some faith and hope to their marriage. They will keep on waiting on you and waiting on the answer. So you need to be a serious pastor. If what you say you will pray, so that makes us to pray hard that God answers that your prayer into that marriage, because you will be the last hope. If you fail, then they see it won't work.
Okay, because one of the problems we have in the West, like the pastors, and this is one of the things that is burdened down in the pastors, that means we have it harder in the West than you, because of tribe and because of the foundation that build your marriage. And I'm saying honestly, nothing wrong with the ways that your tribe operate in terms of meeting the parents. I believe that is good, and I think if that was part of the whole foundation and the West, we as pastors would have it easier. But how do you deal with when one become weak and they would accuse their wife, especially if they have position in the church, that they are spending too much time in ministry and they don't want them to do ministry? How do you do that? Deal with that?
Oh, well,
Thank you. So, well, just to respond to that question, I'll just go back to the point of the best couples. You know, when you're going to get somebody that will be your best couple, or to choose your best couple, there are some things that you need to consider. He has to be somebody who is strong in faith.
Very well. That is strong in faith.
Somebody who is
And back in the West, that is very important. Stick up in. Most time, the best couple don't save. It's not a Christian. Christian would use just a good friend as best, but they are not saved.
Okay.
And that is something that is very important. We are now understanding why we have so much problem in the West. Most of their best man or best couple is not a Christian, and a Christian will use someone because they were there with them from they're going to school, and that is something that we need to look on, and we are learning right now. Go ahead.
so they must be saved and very strong in faith. Somebody who is stronger than you in faith, to ensure that you don't fall, you don't get backslidden. So when you have even spiritual challenges, these people will be there for you to ensure that you stand strong even in your Christian life. So that's why we don't experience such cases here. If somebody gets married, he need to grow stronger, much stronger than the way he used to be alone, because he's getting the support of his best couples here.
Really?
So, yeah. So you must get somebody who is saved and much stronger in faith than you.
and if the pastor is married and he's going maybe out, as you have said, most of the time, and maybe you preaching and all the time on the mission, to some it's a great joy. My servant is not out of the kingdom, he's not in the world, he's in God's business.
Right.
And it takes the wife a little patience to wait.
Yeah.
But it should not be too much.
Yes, because
You must have a responsibility as a father.
Yeah.
That's where the best man comes in and tells the man you are going too much. Back to your wife.
okay, yes, Bishop.
Yes, one of the problem in the West is that sometimes the maid of honor is friendly with the groom from school days, and the wife does not know about it. And then they would use her, and he would be friendly with her while being married. And when the wife finds out, then there's problem. So that is one of the problem, and it is vice versa. The man, the friend, and then this person is friendly with the groom and takes away the husband from the wife. So it is very important. I believe it is very important for especially Christians, when they're getting married, to have Christian couples.
Yeah.
And who's stronger.
And who's stronger than they, because sometimes they just get saved, maybe for a year, and then marry, and not marrying to somebody who's weaker than them.
Yeah.
Then after a while they drift.
And the responsibility.
Yes.
Because within the West, best couple you call it, or best man, or just for the wedding.
Just for the way.
Yeah, you know, you see, we focus more on the wedding day than what happened after.
Okay.
That's the problem.
But for us,
Uh-huh.
we see the future of the marriage rather than that very day.
rather than
That
very
very wedding day.
Everybody look at the day. They don't look beyond the day.
And you can be a best man to many, not
Yeah,
just
right.
one.
Okay.
Like I have been a best man for over about 9 of them, 9 couples.
Uh-huh.
And as successful they are, many people will come in. The last one was about the cousins of Bishop.
Yeah,
Bishop's cousin.
the niece.
The niece to Bishop.
Yeah.
Became the best couple too.
In terms of divorce, and I'm going to touch on a topic that the church is afraid to discuss this topic. I remember when we start our radio program in the United States of America, we start 1 week of teaching on it. And it changed the entire Christian community. We started to get persecuted because the church believed at the time that we shouldn't touch that topic. But after being persecuted, there were pastors that started to come to me and literally apologize and said, listen, we have that problem. We listen what you say and it is true we are talking, but we are afraid to deal with it. Because the problem that I'm going to speaking about now is sex. Because they are afraid to speak about sex because we realize within the West that married couple, when there's a sexual problem, both would sleep in different room. One would sleep in one room and one would sleep in the other room, or they would sleep head and tail, or they wouldn't have sex, or there's a problem within the sex itself because one start to say that the other who married them, one start to blame the other party that sex is not good and we need a divorce now. How do you deal with that in your culture?
Frida, talk. You have silent for a while.
Is sex discussed openly within your culture?
We will talk.
Okay, it also happens even in our culture, whereby you see sex is meant for enjoying. But I came to realize there are some when a man is not caressing and doing what necessary to cause the appetite for sex, you find that it's a problem whereby the woman feels he will just disturb me and he will not satisfy me. So for that case, the wife decides not to because she feels this man is not satisfying her. Sometimes even we have even had rape case even in the marriage whereby the man doesn't know how to
Satisfy her.
to prepare this woman to be ready
For it.
When it just comes, you see, men they are quickly at
Yes.
when they have the desire. But you see, women, they take time. They take too long for her to get the desire for it.
Yeah, right.
You just have to take your time. Even start from the daytime, talk sweet words, prepare.
Right.
But you see, what sometimes I come to realize with the African men is they don't know.
How to-
It is also causing problems whereby you'll find a woman goes and sleeps with children in the kitchen.
Really?
And leaves the husband in the bedroom.
It's happened?
It does at
In
times.
some places.
Yeah, but if that happened and the husband wants sex, can you refuse it in your culture? That I'm not giving you any sex tonight, like the West?
They normally do.
Because within the West, sometimes I've counted people that said that they have to pay each time. They have to literally pay, take out money each time and give them and beg them to give them sex, and they are married. Right. Now, this is true.
It doesn't happen that way.
It does not happen?
Yeah, well, just where you had said that topic is not openly discussed here.
Right.
It is not openly discussed here, and we get another responsibility or another role that is played by the best couples. You find, just like she had mentioned earlier on, a lady, you can find that a lady has such a problem in her marriage,
Right.
but she cannot go around telling people, but she just go to her to the lady,
Right.
to that couple that stood with them.
Okay.
So she will have to raise the issue, or rather to complain to her.
In our culture, sometimes they even announce it before everyone in the church service.
No,
That my person is not doing well in the bed.
I do it.
Yes.
it doesn't
So that
happen.
we're frightened as the pastor.
Yes, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't
It's
happen
done in secret.
in secret. She'll go to her best couples. She'll tell them about the issue, and it is very confidential.
Right.
Very confidential. They'll come and they'll have to sit with the man. They'll discuss with him. They'll start looking at the root cause of the problem.
And mainly, our men does that. Some of them, the way we were brought up.
Right.
Some is not that they know what they are doing. They just don't know what they are doing. So they will need teachings on that. And some, when the woman goes and leave the man in the bedroom and goes to the sitting room, the man will come there violent and say, I paid dowry, I married you and you are mine.
Yeah.
And the wife will just give in to that.